The uBloom Trend Synthesis is brought to you by Design Master, Esprit Miami, Garcia Group, Ocean View Flowers, and Reliant Ribbon.
Welcome to the world of flowers. I'm Jay Schwanke. I've spent my entire life surrounded by flowers. As a fourth-generation florist, flowers have been a part of my daily life for as long as I can remember. Now I'm on a mission to share my knowledge and love of flowers with everyone I meet. Growing, picking, arranging, designing, and sharing. It's all fascinating to me because I love flowers. Anything flowers and everything flowers. Welcome to Fun with Flowers and Jay. Today on Fun with Flowers and Jay, we'll be traveling around the world to create the Voyager Concept from the uBloom Trend Synthesis. So let's get started with today's project. We have a wonderful concrete container and we filled it in completely using the chrysal. Then we're going to build a dome actually over the top of this. Because Voyager is a concept about traveling the world and bringing different parts and pieces of the world together, we're going to have a dome shape that's reminiscent of a globe. We're going to make that using the willow branches. So what I did was, while the willow branch is nice and fresh, I went ahead and looped it around the bottom and then zip tied it off. I kept it in a bucket like that for a couple days so that when we trim this off, then we're going to be able to have nice curved willow stems. So we trim that away and we've got a nice curve that's already started to happen to those willow branches. It's much easier than working with them straight. With our willow branches, we can place those directly into our foam at an angle. And what we're going to do is we're going to start placing those around the outside of the container itself. We'll start with 3 of them so they form a triangle. Now notice how we have that triangular shape. So then we can bring these around to start our dome shape. Now what I've done is I've cut little pieces of the flat wire, and we're just going to start with the flat wire and bend it around, creating a decorative bond to bind off those together. As we add in another willow stem in another location, we'll bind it again together. The flat wire works perfectly for this because it allows us to have a nice, tight connection, and it's also decorative at the same time. We'll continue to add our pieces together so that we get one whole giant structure. We're also going to leave an opening in the middle so that we'll be able to see inside. To add support to the structure, I'll add additional pieces that wrap around it rather than going over the top. You'll also notice that when those pieces intersect another branch that's already in the arrangement, I connect those together as well. Every one of the structures turns out completely differently. It all depends on placing the willow branches together. So you can sometimes form a completely perfect dome, and other times the dome itself will be a random shape. We have an opening inside the dome. That will allow us to place flowers on the inside as well as the perimeter of the entire arrangement. You'll notice that one side of the dome is a little flatter than the other side. I'm going to use 2 large focal flowers on this side to help balance that out. That's the great part about creating an arrangement yourself. Part of the Voyager concept are protea. This is a gorgeous king protea from Mel Resendez. Or we could use Banksia. But today, because I'm introducing red, we're going to use these beautiful mink protea and add them off to this side. So we'll cut them long and insert them into the bouquet itself. Adding those large-scale flowers on that side helps balance out the overall dome. We can add foliage too to help enhance that as well. Our colors for this too are blacks and blues, definitely marine colors, but then we've introduced that pop of red as well. So already 3 leaves and 2 flowers has helped us offset the overall size and shape of the arrangement. So now we can add the rest of our flowers. Because the Voyager Concept has global appeal, we have flowers from all over the world. And we're using them in marine colors. So think about blues and purples and aquas. We've got gorgeous tulips and brassica. In the blue tones, there's Tweedia and the delphinium, and some beautiful black-purple iris, along with eucalyptus and tropical foliages. Those all start to bring the entire global concept of Voyager together. In working with the structure, we're going to allow the longer flowers to actually become part of the armature itself. Tulips and calla lilies work great for this, because we simply weave them in between the structure itself and place them into the foam. We'll also use black tea leaves. By placing them on the interior of the dome, they'll naturally form fit to the rounded shape. We're using delphinium and tropical foliages around the outside of the dome. It makes it appear as if the dome's been settled down in the growing area for a long period of time. There's a hole in the back, and we're going to use a grouping of Tweedia because it's a little bit long, and that way it can look as if it's poked right through the roof of the dome. Inside, we'll use the dianthus. That hot fuchsia color accents really well with the red, and because we use it inside, it brightens up the interior of the dome. The Kylie spray roses have a great center that gets almost a blush color. So as those open up, they actually change. So it's going to be interesting as people continue to enjoy the arrangement. Our final 2 rewards are our most graphic flowers. The black-bearded iris go inside, and we're bringing in 1 stem so that it's poked its way through the roof of the dome. That way our dome doesn't become completely encasing. And finally, the king protea, right in the center of the dome. It's the reward. Because we've created a shape, now people are going to want to peer inside to see what we've created. The Voyager Concept is about creating new worlds, just as we created an entire new world inside our arrangement. And think about traveling from world to world. you'll notice that there's a marine concept. So whether that's related through a lantern like this that might be aboard a steamship, or perhaps sitting out on the ocean and a starry night is represented from the beautiful color fresh with the glitter shimmer. It's about the stars and the sky and bringing all those concepts together. We have introductions of colors too. Reds, fuchsias, dusty roses, all of those colors look more intense when we pair them with the beautiful marine hues. And this is a great introduction for us to use aqua. Whether we have it in a pattern with a gold, or whether the aqua is a burlap with a glitter finish, or maybe it's a sheer with a glitter aqua stripe. Aqua and teal are very important when it comes to water, and Voyager uses water and our global resources of oceans as part of the concept. Also remember that found objects can be treated with other colors. Here we have a beautiful lantern from the Far East, and we've painted it using the Turquoise Design Master Color Tool. That allows us to incorporate those found objects into the color palette we desire. The uBloom Voyager Concept, bringing worlds together. Until next time, keep having fun with flowers.